I just recorded a long-ass video and then just to realize that my microphone was off. So that sucks, but anyway, we'll start from the top. This is my island. It's ditch water, and it's pretty sweet. I'm going to give you a tour from the outside, and we'll work our way inside. So we've got a little bit of our... I'll show you a little bit about my fleet. I've got 2 battle cruisers here. I've got Deception, and I've got Orion. These babies pack a punch. When you have to fend off pirates or go to war, these babies will help you through. We've got a gunship over here. It's a fast little artillery. You know, sometimes it's worthwhile to send as a distraction while these big battle cruisers do their thing. Doesn't take nearly as much damage, but it is a good distraction because it's so fast. We've got a frigate. This is kind of a good all-around ship. It's fast. It's very versatile. It can carry a lot of cargo and does a decent amount of damage. And here is our flagship. This is the ship that you start with. And I keep it for sentimental value. It's really a fucking piece of shit, but I keep it for sentimental value. Anyway, we'll start with our harbor. Over here we have the oil depot. I recently set this up because I recently have had access to engineers who you need to set up this assembly line. We have a railroad, and the railroad runs from our oil refinery, which gets its oil from these oil springs, turns it into oil that is usable, and then is transported by train to our oil depot. The oil depot then takes the oil and brings it to this power plant. The power plant then sends electricity to said radius. You can see the green. That is about how far the electricity travels before there is no electricity. So all of the buildings within the grid have working electricity. Next to the oil depot, we have storage. We've got many storage facilities. We have, as you play the game, you'll realize that storage is very important. We have a bunch of storage over here, as you can see. Anyway, here is our commuter pier. This is to send workers from one island to another. I will explain why that's important later on. Here we have our visitors pier. This is for anyone who wants to come and see the marvel that is Ditchwater, my island, and who wants to pay money to our markets and carnivals and parks, and it's a good source of income. Here we have our harbor master's office. We have our steam shipyard, which is a place where I will commission boats that I want built. Currently, a battle cruiser is under construction. It has approximately 5 minutes left in construction, and it will be added to my battle cruiser fleet. I have my trading post. I've got my repair crane in case one of my ships goes to battle and retains any damages. It can come back here to the repair crane and be fixed up. We've got a fishery over here. All right, let's move into districts. We've got a small workers district that I am just starting on. I haven't really given this much love yet, as you can see, but I will be working on this probably next. Here I have my engineer district, the pride of the city. It took me a long time to set these buildings up and get them just right so that they look all badass like this. This is where all my engineers live. Well, most of them at least. There's some engineers over here, and over here, and a couple scattered through here. But most of them live here. And they have factories that they work at. These factories, unfortunately, these factories produce a lot of smoke and pollution, which my engineers do not like. And most of my factories are offshore at this point, but these ones require electricity and will take a little bit of time to move offshore. So unfortunately, my poor engineers have to live with a little bit of pollution at the moment. I've got a little bit of a canal here near the theater district. I've got a canal going on, as you can see, with some parks scattered alongside it. And this canal This canal goes through here. Since you see all the engineers, I'll go ahead and show the arts district, which is comprised of this museum. I have some empty exhibits that I have to do exhibitions to fill, and those are fun things to do. Here we have a university. Engineers need a university, and so do artisans. Here we have our sort of civil service district, I would say, scattered through the center part of the city. We have our police station, we have our fire station, we have our hospital, we have our school, we have our church, and we have our trade union. And these all serve our community in various ways, which you'll learn about if you ever decide to play this game. Here I have a park I designed, and here's another workers' district. Outside here we have a zoo. The zoo is not fleshed out at all. I only have 2 exhibits, as you can see. I plan on going on more expeditions so that I can acquire more animals from different exotic places. So this is a work in progress, as you can probably tell. I am planning on going to war with Willie. Willie is one of my neighbors on this island, and he's a bitch. And he is a small-time bitch that I could probably easily take out. Look at his small-ass island. So I'm planning on waging war on him at some point, destroying his whole shit and taking that over for myself. But I'm going to wait on that. And when I eventually do, it will be good to have 3 battleships, because these 3 battleships I will send over to fuck him up. Here we have our farmers district. Not a whole lot to see here. This is where I keep my farm workforce. And I kind of have them sporadically laid out as I feel a farm town would be. Here I have my wheat farms, which supply my bakeries, which supply my island with bread. As I said, at this point, I have moved most of my factories offshore so that I can cut back the pollution that my residents experience. The main island that I do my production at is this one here. No one lives here. But thanks to my commuter pier, my residents are able to travel to and from my main island to work here and create the products that are needed to sustain life. Anyway, there are so many more things I could talk about and go into, but that is going to be all for now. If you decide to play this game, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely a relaxing game that kind of takes a little bit of time to get the hang of. There's a lot of moving parts, but it's a very rewarding game. Yeah, that's going to be all for now. Thanks for looking at my island, and when I eventually wage war on Willie and I take these ships out and I beat his fucking ass, I'll send you another video of what that looks like, because right now I can select these ships and I can have them do whatever the fuck I want. And so I might just have them sail on down to this island and start fucking unloading on them, dude. But I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until I'm fully prepared. Probably a couple more cruisers and I'll be ready to go. Alright, dude. Take it easy.